Welcome to Tom Fuller and Smitty talking Ohio sports with balls. If your sport has balls, we're going to cover it. How you doing, Smitty?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good.
We're both doing way better than the Reds.
Yeah, no doubt. I had a good win last night. Look, last 2 weeks I bitched about the bullpen. Now it's the hitting. I've come to the conclusion that they're a shitty team. So
you think?
Yeah.
I think they're running like they ran this team so far that we used to have fans, but now it's been bad for so long. Like it's getting to like apathetic mode where you're not even getting the diehards anymore.
Oh yeah, I was listening to a lot of sports talk on WLW, and I would say 2 out of every 5 callers didn't complain about not even knowing who's on the team. So you're spot on right there with that, because it's just too much turnover, and the ownership's just failed, and then their excuses are bullshit. I'm sick and tired of everybody calling the Reds a small market team. They have a pretty huge fan base, really, regionally.
Oh, yeah, they do.
They go into West Virginia, Indianapolis, Tennessee, Kentucky. Yeah.
They have this region locked down where there's not another MLB team. And a lot of Ohioans, I would say, not even the majority of the fans are even from Ohio, like Southern Ohio. And then you get north of Columbus, everybody's an Indians fan.
Yeah. And another thing you see in a little bit of pop culture, you see the Cincinnati Reds logo everywhere. So they're a recognizable brand. I mean, you see people on TV wearing it all the time. You know, it's stylish. People like it.
Oh yeah, well, it's the original brand.
Mm-hmm.
They're the original team.
Yep.
It's just sad that the Castellinis have let it go so far, but just let this fan base down. And I think the major fear is, like, you and I are fans because we got to witness the 90s teams.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we always heard whispers of the Big Red Machine. I didn't get to whisper, you know, I was born a year after that, but you did get to see, like, Pete Rose's, you know, hit streak or break the record and all these things, like remnants of the Big Red Machine. But what's this generation going to have?
Yeah. That time Castellanos scored a winning run and yelled real loud and then got traded the next season.
Yeah.
I mean, you got nothing. You got nothing. There's nothing whatsoever.
Yeah, I think it's to the point they need to, like, sell the team or do something.
100%. Now, the farm system is, I mean, that is promising, but I mean, that's still years in the making. I mean, they're even all you got. I mean, if it's done right, look at the Houston Astros. But we have tried it 3 or 4 times now, and they just can't. They can't figure it out.
Houston Astros are winning with Dusty Baker.
Yeah, they won a World Series with Dusty Baker.
Your favorite guy on the planet.
And I'm going to drop a bomb right now. I would take Dusty Baker back over David Bell right now, too.
I mean, I probably would too.
At least Dusty Baker stuck to something.
Yeah.
Bell's just all over the place.
McKinnon, who was the guy that went and won one with the
Marlins? Jack McKeon.
The Reds got rid of him.
Yeah, Jack McKeon. They got rid of him after.
Jack McKeon.
Yeah, he's the manager of the '99 team.
I think he was probably the best. Like, did the most with the least.
Oh yeah, 100. Yeah, absolutely.
He got handcuffed by the Ken Griffey Jr. trade, I think.
Oh yeah, they should have. I mean, hindsight's 20/20.
Yeah,
but then they should have just kept the '99 team together. But I mean, you know, at the time it's Ken Griffey Jr., so no one's thinking that.
No one's expecting him to come in, and I'm not going to say he didn't perform, but he just played so hard, man, that he got hurt a lot.
Yeah,
I loved watching him play because you knew he was going to put it all out there, but
he just didn't. I think he went all out when he played, but I don't think he realized that he needed to start preparing in the off season a little more and taking better care of his body off the field.
Yeah. More like a Tiger Woods approach.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, this show's not really about the Reds. This is going into draft weekend.
Excited.
You got your mock draft ready for the listeners. Before we get into that, I want to ask this question. In your opinion, do the Bengals come out of the draft with T. Higgins and Mixon both on the roster?
I think they do. I think Mixon's going to get cut after the draft. I don't think there's any way they're trading T. Higgins. I think they can address their needs without having to trade up or do anything like that drastic.
Okay. Well, I'll be interested to see what your pick is for them. But I've heard rumors that, and you can't say this about the Bengals for 2 decades, but all of a sudden they have all this capital because they've drafted well.
Yes.
So you have a guy there sitting at T. Higgins that you may not be able to pay.
Yeah. I think they'll pay. I think they'll be able to pay T. Higgins.
You think so?
Yeah. I do.
And I'm with you. I mean, we got rid of P. Ryan. I mean, didn't really get rid of him, but he
just wanted to be
else. So we definitely have a hole at running back, and we might have 2 holes at running back. So I could easily see the Bengals drafting 2 running backs in this draft.
Yeah.
If they don't,
I think they'll draft one. They're going to draft one early and one late, in my opinion.
I think so too. I think they're going to get a blocking type back, like a 3rd down back to replace P. Ryan, and then they're going to get a workhorse somewhere.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be pretty interesting when you see what I've got going on with them. So
okay.
Because I'm doing the first round and then the Bengals first 3 picks.
Oh, I'm game.
The first round. No, I'm gonna
do.
Sorry.
Panthers are on the clock.
All right. Well, and I'm gonna run down this list. I'm not gonna give a bunch of information about each pick because, good Lord, that would take too long. So, Number 1, got Bryce Young going to the Panthers. Yeah.
So the rumors are that Will Levis, is that his name? Will Levis? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That his odds in Vegas just jumped up because I guess he told people in his circle that the Panthers said they're taking him first.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked if it wasn't Bryce Young.
Well, this is all like liar's poker. We went over this last week, but
yeah.
Other than his size, I think you have to take Bryce Young 1.
Yeah, and I changed my tune. I was going to take C.J. Stroud at 1, but we'll get into that here in a little bit. But yeah, I mean, and then that the test they take, it's called the SP test. What it is, it's different than the Wonderlic test that they used up until last year. But they've used this. I mean, they've used it, but the Wonderlic test was the official combine test. But every team's been using this model for years and years and years. So it tests your ability to make decisions in space, your ability to make snap decisions, and quickly recognize different, so it's
spatial recognition, that kind of thing.
Yes, much more relevant.
Yeah, for a quarterback.
Yeah. And Bryce Young tested in the top. Go ahead. What was that? I'm sorry.
C.J. Stroud didn't do well on it.
No, he did not. He tested in the 16th percentile. Where Bryce Young and Will Levis, Bryce Young tested in the 98th percentile and Will Levis tested in the 93rd percentile.
Okay, I'll just throw this one conspiracy theory out there for you.
Mm-hmm.
But if, the Colts or somebody said, hey, CJ, we want to draft you, and we already know you're a smart guy. Don't worry about doing well in this test.
Mm-hmm.
You think there's any possibility that, he just bombed it?
No, I doubt it.
Yeah, I do too, but It is a fun thought.
Yeah. So we've got Bryce Young going 1. A number 2 to the Houston Texans from Alabama, Will Anderson, defensive lineman. No brainers. Probably the safest pick in the draft.
Yeah.
He started as a freshman for Nick Saban and performed all 4 years. So he's got experience already.
Listed as an outside linebacker, though?
Yeah, he might move the outside linebacker in the NFL or edge rusher, but I just went ahead and still kept him as a defensive lineman.
Okay. All right. Number 3.
Number 3, Arizona Cardinals, kind of the first shocker of the night, Paris Johnson.
What university?
The
Ohio State.
Ohio State. Yeah.
Why does that name sound familiar? Nothing like, oh yeah.
Offensive lineman, big hoss, big boy. Arizona's got money invested in Kyler Murray. They got to protect him, and he's the best offensive lineman in the draft, in my opinion. So he's going to go number 3.
I agree. I think GMs are getting wise to the point that your money, your draft stock has to go into offensive line, defensive line, wide receivers, and cornerbacks.
Yes.
Quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Like running backs are losing a ton of value, I think, in the draft. We'll get into that conversation later, but we'll see what first running back comes off the board for you. So we're on number 4. So you go offensive lineman. I think McShay has it, the defensive tackle out of Georgia. What's his name?
Carter, Jalen Carter.
Yeah. All right. So we're number 4.
Number 4, CJ Stroud to the Colts. He's still going 4, I think. I really do. Even with the test, I think the Colts are going to take him.
That they would have to trade up to 4, though, right? Or the Colts sitting at 4?
Colts at 4.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why was I thinking they were like 8? I really need to study a little more.
Yeah, the Falcons are 8.
Okay. I can get down with that.
Yep, they need a quarterback. I think they'll take CJ Stroud. Not much else to say about it.
All right.
Number 5, Seattle Seahawks, Jalen Carter.
All right. From Georgia.
Yep. Probably would have been drafted ahead of Will Anderson, but there's some character issues going on. But I still think he's just too much of an upside and too good of a fit with Seattle's defensive scheme for them to pass it up.
Yeah, he's just a train wreck in the middle. I mean, Ohio State experienced that firsthand.
Yeah.
We negated it a little bit, but like we weren't trying to run down and we weren't trying to run at him.
No, there's no point in doing that.
All right.
And we got the Detroit Detroit Lions, number 6, Devin Witherspoon, defensive back, Illinois. He's the best defensive back in the draft, and the Lions need help on that defensive backfield. So
how did he end up at Illinois?
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not really sure on his backstory, but yeah, but.
All right, so Witherspoon.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
7, we got Las Vegas Raiders, Christian Gonzalez, defensive back, Oregon. Raiders are in the same boat as the Lions. So
the Raiders just got Garoppolo, who's a game manager. I've heard rumors they might be thinking quarterback.
But nah, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. Not yet. They like the game managers. I mean, they just got rid of one game manager to get another one.
Yeah. I think Garoppolo is a little better game manager than Derek Carr, though.
Yeah. And Garoppolo's got, he'll be all right. He's got Devontae Adams to throw to. So
yeah. All right.
Falcons, Peter Skoronski, offensive lineman from Northwestern. He can start at guard or tackle at the next level. His arms are a little short, so he'll probably move the guard. But the Falcons need to start building an offensive line, and they talked about they want to go character-driven. So, Northwestern. So,
yeah, smart guy. Definitely. And the offensive linemen, who usually are the smartest people on the NFL roster.
You have to be. So number 9, we got the Chicago Bears, Dub Bears. We're gonna go with Tyree Wilson. Tyree Wilson, defensive end, Texas Tech. There's some people were kind of shying away from him because he's had some foot and back injuries going on or whatever, but he's a stud. He's just too much upside.
Defensive end, you said?
Yeah, defensive end.
Okay. I can see that. So they're not going to get Fields any weapons in the first round.
Well, they already got him. They got him DJ Moore.
Oh, okay.
So DJ Moore will be a first round draft pick right now if he was back in the draft. So they're all right there.
Okay. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. And then number 10, we got Lucas Van Ness, defensive end from Iowa. He can also slide over to defensive tackle in some sub packages if he wants to. He's about 277, so he couldn't do it the whole game. So he's versatile.
Which pick is that? Which team?
All the number 10 pick. Crap. 1 second here. I don't know. I'll look it up real quick. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
This happens from time to time, folks. There's a lot of picks here.
Yeah, it's a lot to try to think through. I'm just surprised how many defensive ends and linemen you have going, and there's still a lot of quarterbacks on the board.
Mm-hmm. I just think the league's finally coming around to the fact that it's still one in the trenches.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you look at the guys making the money: left tackles, wide receivers, defensive end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, I got it now. I'm sorry. They had 2 picks in the first round, so it's number 10 picks the Philadelphia Eagles. They're going to go with Lucas Van Ness.
Yeah.
Perfect fit for that defense.
Yeah. I can agree with that.
Then at number 11, gives me kind of a shocker. Tennessee Titans are going to take Anthony Richardson from Florida.
So the Malik project's over.
Yeah, that's the Malik project's over. They're basically getting a carbon copy. But I think he has a little more upside than Malik, and I think he has a better arm. Although he does have some inaccuracy issues. He's going to have to sit for a year. He ain't going to come in and start right away. Tannehill's still going to be running the team next year.
Now, there's some rumors out there that they might be shopping Derrick Henry in the draft.
Yeah.
And I could see that. I mean, Henry's got a lot of miles. I mean, he's been effective for a long time. But
yeah.
I could see them moving Derrick Henry to move up.
Maybe. That could happen. But really, where would you want to if they're going to move up to, no one really has a need for running back up in them picks. So
yeah. Right.
So I don't know really what'll happen there. They could try, but I mean, I don't think a team would want to take on Derrick Henry.
No, I mean, he only played half the games last year. He can be effective, but he would almost be a good option for a number 2 running back now, or somebody that you could have on your roster and you could use him for a workhorse, but you couldn't use him for a workhorse every game.
I would definitely not spend a first round pick on him.
No.
Maybe a third round pick is what I would do. Then number 12, we got Houston Texans again. Will Levis. They get their quarterback there.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people think that they're not going to draft a quarterback, that they're just going to let it ride out.
I think they won't be able to pass him up if he falls to them there. I think that changes everything if they get him at 12.
But what's your assessment of Will Levis? He's pretty prone to interceptions, it feels like.
Yeah, he is. but he tested high. He tested high on that spatial recognition test as well. So I think it's just something that he can be fine tuned. I think he played for UK, so I think sometimes maybe he was pressing.
Oh yeah.
So
and don't they run? They run the air raid offense, don't they?
Yeah.
Like the Mike Leach system.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Grocery. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I can pause it. If I can figure out how. Oh, here we are. Yeah. Let's take a quick break and then we'll get back at it.
Yes, sir. We'll be right back.
All right, we had a quick break there, but last we were talking about the Texans taking Will Levis.
Yes.
Am I saying that right?
Yes, Will Levis.
Levis, yeah.
Levis, yeah. Yeah, it's a no-brainer there. Heard rumors that they're maybe not going to go quarterback, but when he falls to them at 12,
how can you not take him?
They're going to have to. Because they're going to pay him 12 money. They're going to have to pay him top 5 money.
Yeah.
So, got to.
So we're at 13, 12?
We're at 13. Green Bay Packers going to take Dalton Kincaid, tight end out of Utah.
Really?
Yeah, especially now because they got to get Jordan Love some more weapons. So, and Dalton Kincaid's a matchup nightmare. He's a wide receiver. He's not really a tight end in the NFL. He's not going to be a blocking guy. He's going to be mismatch for middle linebackers and safeties is what he's going to be.
So he's just a large wide receiver.
Yeah, yeah.
I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't think who's the Notre Dame tight end?
Mayer.
You don't think he's the first tight end off the board then?
No.
And I kind of see
he may be the best.
Where you're thinking, and you might be outsmarting the GMs here a bit. Like,
yeah,
these mismatches, if you can draft a mismatch,
yeah,
or a hybrid type player,
mm-hmm.
I think there's more value in that than a lot of other guys that you can go with.
Yeah. Oh, Mayer's going to be a solid tight end. Don't get me wrong, but he's not going to be. He's not the freak that Kincaid is.
So Kincaid's the freak.
Yeah, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, your opinion is the only one that counts today.
That's right. Thank you. Then 14, we got the Patriots. They're going to go Myles Murphy, defensive end out of Clemson. He's a nightmare, and Patriots are always going to improve their line in the draft. That's what they're going to go for first, no matter what. So,
well, Belichick's always the best player on the board guy.
Well, Myles Murphy is probably that as well.
Yeah. I mean, he's always huge on, well, I think I even seen this on the 30 for 30 where he's like, why would you draft me if the player you draft at that position can't play for you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It's hard to argue with Bill Belichick.
Yeah, it is. It's getting a little easier now. They haven't done much since Tom Brady left.
Yeah, that's true. He whiffed on Mac Jones.
Well, that was probably his protege selling a used car.
Yeah. Then we're going to go with the Jets. Darnell Ray, offensive tackle out of Tennessee. Got to protect the GOAT.
Yeah.
Got to protect the GOAT.
Well, we haven't talked since they made that move.
Yeah.
Rodgers to the Jets.
Yep. They finally found a way.
He's going to have a lot of catches.
What was that?
I said Garrett Wilson is going to have a lot of catches.
Yes, he is. A lot of catches.
Yeah, if you don't put Garrett Wilson on your fantasy team, I don't even play fantasy football. If I did, I'd be drafted in.
Oh yeah, he'd
do
be one
that.
he'd be one to be looking at for sure.
All right.
He's one I'll definitely have a lot of shares of this year in fantasy.
Yeah.
Okay.
15. Tom going through his notes there.
Yeah, 16. We're on 16.
Oh, okay. I can't even count. I went to Paint Valley.
Well, I went to Leesburg, so between two of us.
Yeah, it's about the same education level.
Yeah. Number 16, we have the Washington Commanders taking Emmanuel Forbes, defensive back out of Mississippi State. They're desperate for DB help, and he's the best they can get right now, so that's where they're going to go.
Okay. I can agree with that.
Number 17, we got the Steelers taking Broderick Jones, offensive tackle, Georgia. He's a tackle there, but he'll probably move to guard in the NFL, but he's still listed as a tackle. Really don't care. Fuck the Steelers. Hope it's a bust. We're going to move on to 18. Detroit Lions, they're going to, even though they have DeAndre Swift, they're not going to pay him. So they're going to go with Bijan Robinson out of Texas. Bijan Robinson is a stud. I know.
Yeah, I went and looked at his.
Yeah.
I was really hoping when you got the Bengals that you would be mentioning this Bijan Robinson name.
I don't think it will drop that far. I think Detroit's going to take him. There's still other options, though.
And he has a little Barry Sanders in it.
Yeah,
if you watch his highlights, he's got the shiftiness and he's got a little Barry Sanders in him.
He's the best. I mean, running backs, the things are changing with running backs, but he's probably the best overall talent in the whole draft.
Yeah. He's a good pass catcher too.
Yeah. And he's pretty good in pass pro, or he's just the total package. So
I would love to see the Bengals trade up and get him somehow.
They don't need to. There's another option who's just barely below Bijan Robinson at running back.
Okay. I think but Mixon's kind of damaged goods right now. I don't know how they sell that package or get rid of him and get anything out of him.
They're not going to get much out of him. They're
a third rounder, maybe?
No. I'd say even? 5th.
Wow.
Yeah, 5th is with all the draft capital I would spend on him. If any, honestly, if any.
Yeah, he might just end up cut.
Yeah.
That's probably where I'm at. If I'm the GM, I'm probably
just... If I'm, it's the best business decision.
Yeah. All right. Let's keep rolling here.
Going to go to the Buccaneers, Nolan Smith, outside linebacker, Georgia. He was kind of, during the college football season, he was kind of floating around late first, early second, maybe even mid second. He was all right, but he's pedestrian. But he had he wowed everybody at the combine. So he's kind of the hot ticket. And he's going to be it can be one hell of an edge rusher there, and Tampa Bay needs that sorely. So that's what they're going to go with there at 19.
With Baker Mayfield running the helm.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. You don't think Tampa's going to be thinking quarterback at some point?
Nah. Not for what
Baker, huh?
Yeah, not for what's left at quarterback. Very top heavy quarterback class this year. 20, we've got the Seahawks again for that amazing trade with the Broncos. Got Zay Flowers, wide receiver. He's kind of like a Tyler Lockett clone. They have Tyler Lockett there.
Where's Flowers out of? Is Clemson?
Yeah. And then he fits in that. He'll fit in that offense well. He'll learn under the Tyler Lockett learning tree, because Tyler Lockett's a hell of a character guy too. So he'll coach him up, and then when it's time for him to move on,
like a 5th or 6th round guy though. Like he wasn't drafted high.
No, but he worked his ass off.
Yeah. Well, my brother-in-law is a Kansas State fan, so I happened to just catch some Tyler Lockett, or I kind of knew who he was beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
And before he was on a lot of people's radar, I was like, man, this kid's good.
Yeah. Then 21, we got the steal of the draft. Maybe the biggest steal in the past 5 years.
Okay, Grand Theft draft, we're talking.
LA Chargers, Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Wow, you got him falling to the end of the 20s?
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to have anybody left to be able to throw to him?
Justin Herbert.
Oh, to the Chargers. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, they get Herbert another weapon. They have to.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, and that's I don't know the whole. I'm not familiar with their whole personnel. And that's a team I could see trying to trade up to and take in Smith and Jigba. I could see them happening. I think they're desperate for him.
You really think he gets into the 20s?
Yeah, I mean, it could have, the way I got it. I mean, I could be wrong. It's not an exact science.
You and Mel Kiper and everybody that does it can be wrong. So
yeah.
All right.
It's just the way I see. This is just the way I see it playing out.
All right, I like it.
Baltimore, Joey Porter Jr., defensive back out of Penn State. Damn good cornerback. He's got long arms, so he'd be good in press coverage on the bigger receivers.
And we saw a dose of him with Ohio State.
Yep, he's damn good.
Do you remember who he was on in that game? Was he on route man Mark?
I think they moved him around. I'd have to go back and watch, but I think they moved him around a little bit.
Okay.
And then with 23, we got the Minnesota Vikings. Brian Branch out of Alabama. Defensive back. He's a good fit for Brian Flores' scheme. So pretty smart pick there.
Isn't he a little bigger defensive back, Branch?
Yeah. But I think that's a no-brainer at that spot.
Okay.
Then we got the Jaguars. They're going to go Deontay Banks, defensive back, Maryland. Great cover corner. We saw him too. Yeah, he's a real deal too. He's going to be that's a steal getting him right there. He's going to be
catching on to a theme here where you're thinking like me, where your money's going to be in the line, defensive backs, wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Linebackers and running backs feel like they're a dime a dozen.
Kind of does, yeah. Right now, anyway. I don't think it's just going to stay trending that way.
I'm with you on that.
In 25, we got the New York Giants. They're going to go Jordan Addison, USC. They need a field stretcher. He's a field stretcher.
He's wide receiver?
Yeah, wide receiver. Get Danny Dimes another deep threat.
So is that your second wide receiver off the board?
Yes.
So you got Jackson Smith and Jigma going off first?
Yep.
Okay.
First, yeah. Then 26, Dallas Cowboys. They're going to take Michael Mayer out of Notre Dame. They got to replace Dalton Schultz.
I can see that. But then there's a kid out of Iowa, another tight end that's high up there. What's the other high tight end?
There's that guy, and then there's Washington from Georgia. But I think they'll both fall to the second round.
Okay.
Spoiler alert. 27, we got the Buffalo Bills. They're going to take Osiris Torrance, offensive lineman out of Florida. They got to improve up front.
Yeah, they asked Josh Allen to do way too much, in my opinion.
Yeah, they got to improve up front, and he needs to transition into a pocket passer because there ain't going to be too many. He can't take that punishment for too many more seasons of running like that.
I'm with you.
Yeah, he needs to realize he's a
quarterback. I think the Bills need a running back too. Like Josh Allen can't be your quarterback and your running back.
Yeah, exactly. They do need a running back. And another thing is too, Josh Allen needs to realize he's a quarterback and not a football player.
Yeah.
He's got to transition into that, or his career is going to get shortened because you just can't keep doing that.
No, you can't lay it. I mean, it's heroic for a minute,
and
heroes die in the NFL.
Yeah, he's writing checks right now, and before long, his body ain't gonna be able to cash them.
Yeah.
Then, who day?
We're
gonna do the Bengals second and third round picks here in a little bit, but right now at number 28, they're gonna go Jahmyr Gibbs out of Alabama.
Wow.
Stud. Ran a 4.3 40 in the combine. He can catch out of the backfield. He can pass protect. That's who the Bengals are going to take at number 28. So
you think they're going running back first round?
Yeah, if he's there, if he's there, they're going to take him.
I'm with you on that. Then you don't have to reach for Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, don't have to reach for him. And then if Mayer, they may go Mayer if he's there. But I think Mayer's going to go to the Cowboys. So
yeah,
moot point. So I think Jahmyr Gibbs is the way to go.
Hey, I like that. I like that a lot.
Then we got the Saints. Quentin Johnson, wide receiver out of TCU. He'll pair up well with Olave.
Yeah.
Out there in Nolan's. So I think that's a no-brainer there. 30, we got Philadelphia.
New Orleans have their quarterback situation figured out?
Yeah, they signed Derek Carr.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I can't keep up with everything.
Yeah.
Oh,
they'll be adequate.
Yeah, yeah. For sure. Derek Carr needed a fresh start too.
Yeah, he did. He needed to get out of there. He really did. Number 30, we got the Philadelphia Eagles. We got Brian Breeze from Clemson, defensive tackle. Had a hell of a junior year and sophomore year. Senior year, he had some family tragedies happen. He gained a little weight, and he was just kind of sluggish throughout the year. But if he can return to his form, he's a day one starter on the defensive line.
Am I tracking this right? The Eagles have 2 first-round picks?
Yes.
And they went to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
I think that's what's really hurting the Bengals right now. It's like you're so close, but then you're so close that it almost hurts you because you're drafting so late.
Yeah.
What really helped the Bengals when Joe Burrow got hurt.
Yeah.
And that'll be a question for later. But all right, let's keep rolling here.
All right, at 31, we got Kansas City. Will McDonald, defensive end out of Iowa State. They'll probably move him to Sam linebacker in their scheme.
They run a 3-4.
Yeah, so he'll probably be the Sam linebacker, and he's very athletic, very explosive. Going to be a prototypical pass rusher in the NFL, I think.
Yeah,
which fits him well with Kansas City because that's what they like. That's what they like to do.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
On defense.
Be able to move that linebacker around.
Yep. And then 32, Pittsburgh. Alton Harris from Oklahoma, offensive lineman. Hope he bust. Fuck them. Fuck the Steelers. That's the first round of the NFL draft. Now I'm going to discuss a little bit of the Bengals' next 2 picks.
Okay.
This first
Can we kind of like regurgitate a little bit of the first round?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I'm just excited to talk Bengals. Sorry.
Oh, I know. I am too. And probably most of the people that will listen to us probably want to talk Bengals too. But some of your quarterback takes, I don't think I've heard anybody else say Levis to the Texans.
I get to see it.
That's the first take I've heard of that.
I just try to put my mind. That I'm there in the draft, and just the way this is just the way I see it flowing. It's probably way off, but
Well, I mean, you're about as good a guess as anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like trying to do an NCAA tournament bracket when you don't
Yeah.
know. It's tough.
And I love the NFL draft. It's one of my
I
favorite.
do too. It's one of my favorite things.
It's intriguing every year.
And the teams that do it well are good.
Mm-hmm.
And like if you're the Bengals that did it bad for a very long time,
Yeah.
you suck.
Yeah.
I don't know who's calling the shots for the Bengals nowadays, but like they've drafted well.
Yeah.
Lately.
Yeah, you gotta be right. You gotta be right. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, I mean you can't miss a lot. You can't miss a lot.
No. You gotta get, I mean, rounds 5 through 7 as a wild card.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, you can find a gem or not, but there's not as much pressure on those picks. But those first 4 rounds, you need to hit 3 of them.
Well, I think Marvin Lewis, as much credit or discredit as you want to give him or not give him,
Mm-hmm.
he started the trend of drafting well for the Bengals.
Yes, he did. When Marvin Lewis first came in, he was brilliant. I think he just became stagnated over the years.
I think that happens to a lot of coaches.
Well, yeah.
And I think like even like Amazon's model and some of these other corporations, like once you've been in a job for 6 years, like you've lost, you're not growing anymore. Like you need to move on.
Yeah.
So I think some of these, I think that's where Belichick's at. I think Belichick needs a shot in the arm. Like he's kind of stagnated.
He might just need to retire.
Yeah, we have that too. That could be a real possibility.
He's getting up there.
Yeah, he's in his 70s or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's a lot of stress for a 70-year-old.
Oh yeah, for sure. And he's like the coach and the GM. I mean, he's pretty much putting the roster together. It's not like, hey, go coach these guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you have the other oddity, which is the one owner that acts like a GM in Jerry Jones.
Oh boy, yeah.
And you never know what he's going to do.
No, you really don't.
And that reminds me back when the Bengals were making horrible picks, when Mike Brown was kind of acting like the GM.
Yeah, it was not good.
No, it was. Yeah.
I'm just trying to think. Wow.
We drafted Big Daddy Wilkinson, who shouldn't have been a bust. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, that was a good pick. It just didn't work. Kajana Carter was another one. I mean, you can't predict an injury like that.
No. We got him out of Penn State, right?
Yep.
But that's another reason why you can't take running backs in the first round hardly anymore.
At least not early first.
No. And if you do, you can't sign them to a second-year deal.
No.
There's no way in hell you can sign a running back to a contract that's worth a whole lot.
Yeah. Well, I would sign him to the rookie deal.
Yeah,
I'd take advantage. I'd take advantage of that.
It almost feels like exploitation because of that position. But like from an efficiency team perspective, if you take the emotions out of it, I can't name you one running back that's done well on a second-year deal. Derrick Henry, maybe, but I mean,
yeah, it's been a while. That's for sure. I know one in the past 10, 15 years, just for sure, Frank Gore. Because he did good on.
Well, yeah, he ran until he's like 40 or something.
Yes, he's an anomaly.
Yeah.
Him and Adrian Peterson.
Yeah. But even from an efficiency standpoint, yeah, those guys maintain effectiveness, but they stayed at the level that you probably still could have got from a rookie if you'd have drafted right.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, they just didn't fall off a cliff.
Then another thing, is a lot of running backs just aren't good at pass protection.
Yeah. They're
And
not.
that's something that will keep you off the field in the NFL.
Yeah, especially third down situation.
Yeah, that'll keep you off the field.
So, yeah. So you have much different quarterback takes than a lot of people out there, Kuiper and McShay and whatnot. And I'm not saying I disagree with them. I love your first Bengals pick. I would love to get into who you think the Bengals are taking second round and third round.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I can do that for you. In the second round, I believe the Bengals will take, and this is a mouthful, Tuli Tuipulotu from USC. Defensive lineman. He can be interior and exterior defensive line. Bengals always need to be looking to bolster that depth on that defensive line. So I think he's going to be the best defensive lineman left at that point. I think they should just grab him. Not even think about it too much.
I'm with you. Did we lose any defensive linemen? Trying to think.
I'm trying to think too. Off the top of my head, no. But you always got to add depth. We weren't that. I mean, we weren't that good at defensive tackle. We need some more depth at defensive tackle. Reader's amazing.
Yeah,
DJ Reader. Yeah.
The only thing my thought would be there with the Bengals is we lose Jesse Bates, right?
Mm-hmm.
We lost Von Bell.
Yeah.
So
well, they got that, but they signed that safety from the Rams.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we got one safety. I can see him taking a safety at some point in the draft.
I think so too, but I think that's going to be 4th or 5th round.
And we also got that kid out of Nebraska. What's his name that they drafted last year?
Oh.
We both suck at names. I'm hoping our listeners suck at names too. So.
Yeah.
They know who we're talking about. The kid out of Nebraska.
Daxton Hill. I don't think he's
safety several times.
Yeah.
So.
But that's fine. That's fine. But they're good at. I think the Bengals are good at corner. Because I really because. And Chubwe looks like he's going to be ready. I don't know if I pronounced his name right, but he looks like he's going to be ready. And then Cam Taylor-Britt was amazing last year.
That's who I was thinking of, Cam Taylor-Britt.
Yeah.
He got him out of Nebraska.
Mm-hmm. What I worry about was
quarterback and safety, though, didn't he? Like he didn't play.
Yeah, but he's going to be mostly playing cornerback. He's a hard hitter for a cornerback. That worries me.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I do too. But
all right, who's the Bengals taking with the third round? Who's left?
Nick Brooker, offensive lineman from Ole Miss. He was a 4-year starter at Ole Miss in the SEC. Very versatile. He can play guard or tackle. So they could move him to guard for some added depth and starting ability, or if all the stars align, maybe he's the starting right tackle day one. Who knows?
Yeah.
But that's a hell of a value there in the third round getting that guy.
Jonah Williams, right?
Mm-hmm. He wants
to went out of town.
Yeah, because he don't want to play right tackle.
That's enough. So, I got 3 people like Joe Mixon, T. Higgins, Jonah Williams. If I'm the Bengals, I'm floating those out there for trade pieces.
I wouldn't float T. Higgins out there. No way.
Well, no, I wouldn't want to float him out there. But if you're looking at your bank account and like, well, I got paid Joe Burrow this and Chase this, and but yeah, I mean, ideally you wouldn't want to get rid of Ty Higgins at all.
No, especially not this year. I think this is the year.
Yeah, I think so too. And you can franchise tag him next year.
Yeah. But yeah. I think this is the year. I just do. I don't know why. I just do.
Well, it's Burrow's third year?
Mm-hmm.
You played the Chiefs down
to it's his 4th year.
4th year. Well, he's hurt for 1 year, but this kind of feels like his senior year. Like, okay, He's been in
Yeah,
the
it's time.
league for a while.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, the
So here's
ascension will
my.
be. I
I
think
had
the
a
ascension will
question
be
prior
complete.
to the draft. How much? How much do you think Zach Taylor has into who they draft?
How much has him in him to what?
How much input do you think Zach Taylor has on the draft?
I think he has quite a bit, to be honest. I really
So
do.
he's picking his player.
I think he's definitely. I think it's definitely something he's had a voice in for sure. Yeah, maybe not 100%. Maybe Duke Tobin has the final say, but maybe not. I don't know. Zach Taylor, I think, is a great CEO. I think where he lacks is his X's and O's sometimes,
Yeah,
and time
we're going
management.
to get into that because is it just me or are we the only offense in the NFL that doesn't use motion?
Yeah, it's weird.
Like it's just like we line up and go. Like there's no motion. You watch the Chiefs play and there's people going this way, people going that way, and you watch the Bengals like line up and go.
Maybe they're working around that offensive line, doing that too.
Yeah. So that's my next question.
Yeah.
Can you win a Super Bowl with Zach Taylor?
I think so. They were 90 seconds away.
I mean, they were.
They were 90 seconds away, and actually, if you want to think about it, they were probably 4/10 of a second away. If Joe Burrow would have had another 4/10 of a second, he could have hit Jamar Chase down the field and won the game.
Yeah.
If he just had that little more, just snippet of time. Oh, I don't want to talk about that anymore.
Oh, now we got to bring up the PTSD issues, but
oh man. That sucked.
I think all Bengals fans are there. Yeah. And I went into that game thinking like, hey, we're here, and I'm just happy to be here. I mean, it's kind of like getting invited to the prom or something. Like, oh, yeah, we're here, we're in the dance. Then you figure out like, holy shit, we can win this thing.
Yeah. It was just
and then you don't.
It's just like Super Bowl 20.
Kick in the nuts.
Super Bowl 23, I was 7 years old.
I think I was 14 or 15.
Yeah.
13.
When Stanford Jennings returned that kickoff for a touchdown.
Yeah.
I thought that was it.
I'm with you. I was in my friend's basement, like going crazy, thinking like, we just won the Super Bowl.
But then here comes Joe Montana.
Yeah.
90 seconds left. He looks at his offense. He looks at
the Bengals and the Chiefs are. It comes down to like who's going to have the ball last and how much clock are you going to give them?
Yeah.
Because as soon as they scored, I'm like, that's too much time to give Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
Or Patrick Mahomes. I guess he don't like Pat Mahomes, but it's too much time.
When they gave Montana too much time.
Yeah.
And I mean, Montana was in the huddle, and John Candy was there, I guess, and he looked in the crowd real quick, and he looked like he's like, hey guys, isn't that John Candy? Then they went down the field 90 seconds and won the game.
Yeah, like not nervous about it at all.
Is that John Candy? And then Stone Cold fucking killer.
Yeah. But I think we have one of those guys.
I do too. I think Joe Burrow is definitely a Stone Cold killer for sure.
I'm with you. I don't know how them guys operate because when I was like just pitching like D3, man, my anxiety and oh my goodness, like I felt like puke every time. Like them people that can elevate.
Yeah, it's
one thing to be athletic. There's a ton of athletic people that will never make it in an NFL or a pro team because they can't perform under pressure. Now, if you have to play that person in their driveway, they probably smoke you. But there's a lot of people that can't perform when it like counts.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a trait. It's a special trait.
It is.
I mean, if you look at it, I mean, the guys we're talking about with that kind of trait, what is there over history of them? 30.
Yeah.
So 30 out of the whole population.
Yeah. Like 2 billion people on Earth or something.
Yeah, it was like 7 or 8 billion.
32 of them that get to play quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about the elite of the elite.
Yeah.
Human
Play at
being.
the highest level. I mean, that's mind-boggling to think about.
Yeah, it's almost superhuman. Like you watch some of the reads and the throws they have to make, and you're just like, the people that want to badmouth or say anything about a quarterback or that they could go out there and do that, like,
no, there ain't no way.
No, you're not.
Peyton Manning orchestrating an offense, man.
Omaha.
Good Lord, man. Just kind of a thing of beauty.
Oh, yeah. So that'll bring me back into C.A. Stroud. With him doing 16, 18% on this S2 test, that makes him very much look like a system quarterback. But
a system type quarterback, yeah.
We've seen the accuracy and we've seen him go through the reads. So how does he do so poorly on that test?
That I'm not sure about. I don't know. Maybe he's not a good test taker. I'm not sure. But somebody's going to find out. I mean, we're going to find out. He's still going to go early, I think.
I think so. I like your take for Indianapolis because I think he'd look beautiful in that uniform, just for one.
Yeah.
And then I think it's kind of ironic that he would go there where Marvin Harrison played.
Yeah.
And you think so many passes to Marvin Harrison Jr.
Pretty neat. Yeah, it's pretty neat.
And then what would you think? Spoiler alert, the Colts, if they played C.J. Stroud, they win like 2 games, and then they draft Marvin Harrison Jr. next year.
Oh yeah, that could easily play out. It could easily play out like that.
That would be beautiful.
That'd be amazing.
Like that's an ideal situation.
Yeah, that's a dream. That's a dream situation. I don't know.
Like I don't think very much stuff looks good in blue. Not Michigan blue, but Indianapolis blue. That's one of the best uniforms.
It is really nice uniform. Yeah, but then they're gonna have to have a shitty season to have a chance to get Marv because he ain't going past 3.
No.
He'd be top 5 wide receiver in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
So when did they get rid of that shitty rule? For what? Like I can see it for some positions, but then I think with NIL and everything coming down that eventually they're going to a 2-year.
Maybe. I don't know.
I think 2-year out of high school you can be drafted.
I don't know, man. You can get a college for 1 more year and still get paid. I think there's a lot of. I think it'll stay 3 years. I really do. I think 3 years should be because I still don't think their bodies are 100% there.
Well, your brain's 100% not developed.
Yeah.
Until you're 25.
Yeah,
20.
exactly.
But
yeah, that's one of the things. Another thing. I'm going off on a tangent here, but it's a college.
I love your tangents.
I think college baseball should be wooden bat.
1,000% it should be.
I think aluminum bat with the way, people get bigger and stronger, as big and strong.
Now they went the BB core, which is supposed to be the safer version of a wooden bat.
Yeah.
So they took some of the juice out of the bats.
That's good.
Yeah.
I was not aware of that.
You can only be so many. Because when you and I played, a 32-inch bat weighed 32 ounces. Like it was inch per ounce. But now they have the drop weight bats, so you can get a 32-inch bat that weighs 29 ounces or 28 ounces.
I would have loved to have that. Oh, man.
would I have ever?
Oh,
But we didn't.
no.
Uh, but they started limiting like the drop
Mm-hmm.
weights that you could have for like high school and different things.
Yeah.
But anyway, I appreciate all the effort you put into the mock draft.
Oh, no problem.
I can't wait till you
It's going to be.
write something up on it, and
Yeah.
we can put all this out there.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel pretty good about this episode. If you're
Oh,
ready.
absolutely.
All right, man. I'm gonna check out for now.
Good night, everybody. This has been Tom Foolery and Smitty talking Ohio sports with balls. If you got the balls, we'll cover it. Good night and have a great night.